Well, that game was something else. Wow. So the LA Kings are already in the playoffs. We know this as of yesterday. Thank you, Blackhawks. Feels a little weird to say, especially since the Kings ended up getting in on their own accord, but officially it was last night when the Blackhawks beat the Blues. So I feel pretty good about that. So these next two games really don't matter, except that they do, because the way the standings are shaking out right now, the Ducks just beat Colorado. I'm sorry, the Sharks just beat Colorado, which means they're at 100 points. The Kings are at 98 points. The Ducks are at 97, but they have 2 games left to play, which means if everybody wins all of their games, it'll shake out where the Ducks are at 102. Sorry, Sharks are at 102, Ducks are at 101, and we are at 100 and enter in the first wild card spot. But, if the Sharks lose, and the Ducks lose at least one of their games, and the Sharks would have to lose in regulation, then the Kings end up with 100 points. Oh, I'm sorry, and the Kings win on Saturday. So many different scenarios. But it is possible that the Kings could actually end up in second place and get home ice. So there's still, with the Kings have 1 game left, the Sharks have 1 game left, and the Ducks have 2 games left, and it's still completely up in the air as to who is going to get second and third and first wild card. It is, however, determined that if either, depending on who gets in, the Avalanche or the Blues, they are the ones who are going to play Nashville in the first round. So the Kings could end up with home ice and play the Ducks. They could end up with home ice and play the Sharks. They could end up with no home ice and still play either one of those teams, or they could end up in the first wildcard spot and play Vegas. Seriously, we have 2 games left of the regular season. So many options. So that's how things stand now. As to the game that got us to this position, Dustin Brown got 4 goals. 4 goals in 1 game, guys. Amazing. And the second one I honestly didn't even notice was Dustin Brown. I'm sorry, the third one, because it was the McFlurry minute, and I was so excited that we were going to get free ice cream because he scored 10 seconds into it that I did not realize until Hats started streaming onto the ice that was his third goal. And then the overtime game-winning goal also goes to Dustin Brown. Now, how did we get there? 55 seconds in, Dustin Brown gets his first of the game. First shot on goal for the game, and it's in, and Dustin Brown is a hero, and we're thinking, oh my gosh, yay, this game's gonna go so well. Yeah, then the Wild scored 2 goals in quick succession in the first 5 minutes of the game, and the Kings did not get a shot on goal for about 10 minutes, so their 1 shot and 1 goal happened 55 seconds in, and then the Wild got 7 more shots and 2 more goals in the space of 5 to 10 minutes there. Seriously, their second goal was at 5:02 of the first period. So in the first 5 minutes, 3 goals happened, and you're like, what the hell? Clearly, both of these teams have already gotten into the playoffs and don't really care. It was odd. It was very odd. The Kings, however, is still in running for the Jennings Trophy. I hope after giving up 4 goals tonight. We'll see. So that's really more what I thought the Kings should have been playing for. Anyway, like I said, really weird game. So about halfway through the first period, the Kings were like, oh, yeah, I guess we should actually play some hockey. Okay, cool. So they start to pick it up a little bit and get a little bit of momentum, but not anything really special to write home about. Kopitar takes a penalty with a minute and like 25, 26 remaining or something, 24. You're like, wait, what? I know. I wouldn't really call this a penalty. It's a little soft, but whatever. So we're going into the second, and we're down 2-1, and we've still got some Kopitar penalty to kill, and you're like, well, I'm not really sure that's how I wanted this game to go. It's okay, though, guys. Because as Kopitar comes out of the box, the Kings have just, it probably would have been icing had he not actually been there to stop it, because the penalty had just ended. Oh, but he gets this amazing, amazing chance, and Trevor Lewis just can't quite handle as he's streaking down the left wing there. The shot, so it's still 2-1, but things are looking much better for the Kings. Then 2 minutes into the second period, they get a power play. That doesn't really go anywhere, but because special teams seem to be the theme of the second period, then there was some 4-on-4 as Tanner Pearson goes for, I think it was high sticking. There was a lot of stuff going on there. So he and a Wild player, they're coincidental minors, so some 4-on-4. And then about 6 minutes in, the Kings get another power play. And then barely 45 seconds into that, not even, they get a 5-on-3. Puck over the glass. I hate that penalty when it happens to us, but I love it when it happens to the other team, particularly when it's Mikko Koivu, who's one of their best penalty killers, and the Kings get 1:19 seconds of some 5-on-3. Wow, not even 10 minutes, and there's already been craziness in the second period. So, sure enough, the Kings score. 5-on-3, hard not to score, you would think. So this goal is Dustin Brown's second of the game. We're looking good, guys. Dustin Brown's on deck for a hat trick. 5-on-3 power play goal. Still got some power play left to go. It doesn't happen like that, but it's still, Dustin Brown is doing that thing he does where he stands at the front of the net and does amazing things. Literally parked in front of the net all game. Cannot say enough about how good Dustin Brown was. And yeah, the score sheet's going to reflect that he scored 4 goals, so that's going to look good. But every other thing he did on the ice tonight was A+ material. He had 5 grade A chances before he got that second goal in. Grade A chances. At one point in the first period, he managed to pass the puck to himself through 3 different Wild players. Here's Dustin Brown. Here's 3 Wild players. Ooh, puck goes through there. Dustin Brown skates around them, and bam, he hits the crossbar. Oh, seriously, Dustin Brown all over the ice. He's hitting the crap out of guys too. Legal, really good down in the ice hits. So he was amazing, and I'm so happy he was rewarded tonight. I mean, I'm always happy when Dustin Brown is rewarded because he just works his heart out and pours it into this game. So very, very proud of seeing what he has accomplished this season. So we're now tied 2-2. And then Tobias Rieder goes ahead and gets his 10th goal of the season. Really happy to see that. He did exactly what Dustin Brown has been doing all game, parked himself in front of the net. He had a pretty grade A chance before this, maybe like 1 or 2 shifts before this that I really hoped went in. But this was a redirect of, I want to say Tanner Pearson shot? Either way, it got the Kings up 3-2. I did neglect to mention that Drew Doughty got his 50th point on Dustin Brown's goal in the 5-on-3. 50 points. That is the 4th time in the LA Kings history that a defenseman has done that, and he is making his case for the Norris Trophy more than I have ever seen. And so many things happening that the Kings could get rewarded for. You've got the Jennings, you got the Selke, you got the Lady Byng, you got the Hart, you got the Vezina, maybe. I've heard some talk. And Doughty for Norris. I should mention that Kopitar is the other 3, Selke, Lady Byng, and Hart Trophy, because bam. Though, a case could be made for Dustin Brown for Hart. Doesn't have as many points as Kopitar. Kopitar's way out there, but he has done some amazing things this season. He has really kept it going, and those two as a pair have just been beautiful. So anyway, Tobias Rieder, he gets his 10th. The Kings are up 3-2. Things are looking good. We don't need much more than that, do we, in the second period? Now, let's get one more goal. Let's get Dustin Brown's hat trick. 50 seconds before the period closes. Streaking down the ice, didn't tip it in, all Dustin Brown. All Dustin Brown. Magic on this beautiful shot. Hats raining down onto the ice. He even picks one up at the end and puts it on his own head over his helmet. Oh, I just love that guy so much. I'm so happy that Vegas didn't pick him up. And when the expansion draft happens in Seattle, he has to be on our protected list. Period. So going into the third period, 4-2, do we even need to play 20 more minutes? Turns out we did, because they tied it up pretty darn quick there. One of them was a short-handed goal. That was awkward. The first one happened on a delayed penalty, and before the penalty could actually take place, they scored. So that sucked. Really nice puck movement, unfortunately, by the Wild. And it's like the Kings just stopped playing for a good 15 minutes of the third period. Like, it's cool. We're up 4-2, whatever. Oh, we're 3-2. Yeah, it's fine. And while Jonathan Quick did some amazing saves in the first and second period, the third period was just, everybody just fell down. They just stopped playing. It was crazy. So the fourth goal Yeah, because we're up to 4 goals now, guys. Their 4th goal came as we got the power play, and you're like, oh, maybe we'll get it back, except there was a miss kind of pass from, I think, Lewis and Doughty. So the Wild are back, and then Quick didn't have it, and it was tied. And wow, did our power play go to crap? I mean, not just because it was short-handed goal, but we had another power play after that, and everything about it was awful. The only reason that it was better than that power play, the first one we had that period, was because we didn't let them score short-handed. So everything about that was bad. Very terrible power play in the 3rd period. Everything about the 3rd period basically just kind of sucked. But we make it to overtime. Barely make it to overtime. And sure enough, Dustin Brown scores for the 4th time this game. I guess he wanted to keep up with Kopitar, who had a 4-point game a couple of weeks ago. Carter got his hat trick a week ago. Kings are flying when it comes to points. And while I am slightly concerned about, them giving up a 2-goal lead and letting in 4 goals in the span of 60 minutes there, that's really concerning. Please continue to play 60 minutes of hockey when we come to the playoffs, whoever you end up playing. The fact that Dustin Brown has 4 goals really kind of negates all the other stuff. So if we can keep doing what we're doing well in the playoffs, and if we can clean up a lot of the aspects that happened tonight, I think we got a pretty good shot. So, one more game, guys. Saturday against Dallas. Sharks' last game is also Saturday. They play the Wild, who got killed by the Ducks last night. So, I guess it'd be fitting if they ended up winning. Just kind of like the trifecta of California there. The Ducks' last 2 games are tomorrow against the Stars. We get them on their 2nd night of the back-to-back, and then Arizona on Saturday. So, still lots to be decided. But exciting, if nothing else, game tonight. And then off to the playoffs we go.